I've worked with a lot of INTJs who burn out chasing clarity through trying to gain more and more knowledge, trying to understand the why behind everything they want and everything they do. While that is useful to a certain degree, they will often hit a point, and I know I certainly did, of not truly being able to figure out why they are unable to get what it is they want. And a lot of them aren't able to get to the understanding of why they want what they want. This video is a full coaching session between myself and an INTJ client. I'm an INTJ myself, an Olympian and an NLP mindset coach. My work specifically focuses on helping people uncover the subconscious patterns that are holding them back. I'm especially passionate about helping INTJs because for a really long time, I really struggled to find anything that genuinely helped me enjoy my life and myself with peace and clarity. So Anna reached out to me feeling really mentally overloaded, and she was really unsure on how to move forward, particularly in the context of her career. She couldn't pinpoint the exact problem that she was facing, only that she was constantly thinking about too many things at once and she was feeling really stuck. In this session, you'll see me do a little preamble about NLP, and that'll answer a lot of the questions that a lot of people have. And then I guide Anna through a full session to help her get clear on what was actually driving her overwhelm. You can pause the video quickly and see what she had to say about it here. During the session, Anna uncovered and shifted a belief that was formed very early on in life, around the age of about 4 or 5. A belief that made her feel as if everything had to be ordinary in order for her to be able to do it. This belief that she held created a real sense of sadness across many different areas of her life. You'll see me use a number of techniques to help her reframe this belief for herself and loosen its grip on how she identifies with it, and in turn how she identifies with herself. If you're curious about working with me, you can find my website below. You can also sign up to stay in the loop, or you can join the INTJ OS beta program that I'm running. That closes in a couple of days, so the application forms are below. I've had a lot of questions come in about what I actually do, so I really wanted to provide and share a real look at the process. You don't really have to understand what's happening to realize that Anna's had a big shift in how she is relating to herself and the problem from the start of the session to the end of the session. If you enjoy this kind of content, please let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to volunteer for a session like this, you can sign up using the form below. I'd really like to thank Anna for not only allowing me to work with her, but also allowing us to see this session of hers online. I hope you get something from it.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fairly well, thank you. How are you?
Good. How did you find me? I know you've watched some of my videos, but how did you find them?
I believe I was looking for an answer to something, and I thought that it might be connected to my time. And at the time, I'm just very I'm a very Google and YouTube person when it comes to solving. So I try to see if I have experience with it, and then I go from there when I'm not sure. Yeah.
How long have you known type stuff for?
I think the first time I tested myself was probably like 15 years ago. And ever since then, I've been typing myself. I think I've typed myself like 3 times. Always come out like the same result. And I think I got into it more maybe 2 years ago when I got interested in what my parents' types are, or my family. But otherwise, I can't say I'm a big expert.
No, neither am I. I think I need to make more clear that I'm just an INTJ, and I'm not like an MBTI expert. Because some people come to me from like specific, they want type related advice, and I was like, I can tell you what I do, and if I've overcome that or whatever, but like I'm an expert in NLP and coaching, and that's what I do. And I just know that for INTJs in general, it's like very hard for them to find number one, someone they trust, and to like something that works for them. And I'm like, well, it works for me. I might as well like sort of target those people, and hopefully I can help some of them too. So that's like my intention behind it. But a lot of people are like, oh, how do I develop this function or that function? And I was like, I only learned about the functions when I started this YouTube stuff. So I've developed those things, but in different ways than using type, even though it could be very useful and a lot faster. Do you have any questions about like what I do or the NLP stuff, or you just want to dive into it kind of thing?
Well, I guess I wonder what it is. I haven't come across an NLP practitioner, and it's interesting, but it's kind of in a haze.
Yeah, it's so basically NLP is rooted in the language we use to represent the world. So we all actually have a subjective experience of the world. So you and I are in the same world. I mean, we're in slightly different worlds in different countries and stuff, but say if we were in the same exact situation, our brains, based on our previous understanding of the world, our parents, our culture, our own thinking, everything, we will interpret that same situation subjectively different. And so there's elements of reality in it, but it's still subjectively made meaning with our own brain's filter. And these filters are actually, so 95% of our operating system is subconscious. So, you know, when we drive a car, like we're no longer thinking about driving a car. You can do lots of other tasks and talking, like even when we're talking and accessing language and stuff, we're not like consciously constructing like how to make those sentences or whatever. It's coming from a subconscious place. The actions that we do once we learn how to walk, that is then a subconscious thing. You're not thinking heel or toe balance, this, you know, like all of that. It's once your body and your subconscious and your nervous system learns something that's useful, it'll then store it subconsciously. And so what happens as we're growing up is we, from the age that we are making these assumptions and meanings and subjective maps, essentially, of our experience from the best that we can do at that time when we're that age. And so when it becomes problematic is when you like kind of grow and evolve out of that sort of version of you where you are, or you've got different skills or different capabilities now, but your brain is like wanting to keep you in a place that is, from an evolutionary perspective, safe and you know, keeping the status quo. Like anything change is very energy consuming for the brain. And so then it's going red flags all the time. It's like, well, you know, why would we change? Like, because if you think about like meaning and the luxury of the life that we live now, we have time to sit around contemplating because we don't need to go and get food. We don't need to go, you know, we can lie around in our head and make up stuff, essentially think about the meaning of life. Yeah. And so what I've started to realize, especially with INTJs, right? So if you've got, have you done anything into the cognitive functions?
Anything? Yes. I wouldn't be able to explain it to someone, but if someone tells me about it, I understand.
Okay. So like I'm trying to find a more cleaner link between it, but it makes sense to me at the moment. Like NI, or introverted intuition, is our leading function, which is arguably like the most subjective function, because it's just like pulling like abstract things and like projecting into the future and, you know, all of these like little details, and it's all sort of almost just like made up in your head. That's all subjective. Like it doesn't need a lot of sensory feedback, like concrete thing to make these kind of big jumps in assumptions. And you're like, that's not going to work because of this, and this, because of these patterns. But you haven't actually collected all of those bits of sensory data. Like, did that happen in reality, or did you make an assumption about that? And so I think for INTJs particularly, there comes a whole bunch of these problematic stuckness, like looping problems in our nervous system, because our brain generates not more meaning, but like a lot more abstract meaning throughout our life that can become problematic, because it's not necessarily true. It's not the truth of what happened. It's our subjective experience of the truth. And so all the stuff that I do is just breakdowns. Most of it's just conversational. Sometimes there'll be like exercises that are pretty much just a visualization, which we are really great at, like imagining things. Because when you can imagine things and practice things in the brain, it strengthens pathways. And so if you have these problematic loops and you're continuously using them, you're continuously strengthening them. But you can actually break them apart quite quickly by sort of forcing the brain into some of the exercises. They'll take you into a slower brainwave state just because you're absorbed in the exercise. And when your brainwaves are going a bit slower, you can access more subconscious parts of you while you're conscious. You're not like knocked out or anything. It just helps you access the information better. So 5 to 7 bits of information can be kind of held at once in the conscious thinking, and then you have to kind of think for a second, and it's kind of chopping and changing. You're trying to find information and it's going around. You're like, no, that's not it. It goes up and down. But then say for example, what we're doing is like you've been trying to find the answer in your filing. Like imagine all of your life experiences and everything you know and understand is in this big warehouse with all these files and boxes. And you've been going in there with a little flashlight and you're like, where is in this dark warehouse, like one flashlight at a time. Whereas when NLP comes in and the way that the questions are structured to break down the language, it's like we can turn on the light and we've still got to find where it is, but you can find it much quicker when the whole room is lit up than you like going in the dark, going like row by row, like box by box kind of thing. So that's essentially what it is. It's just like questioning sometimes. So I don't work a lot in content. So most of the times I don't need the whole story, and I might cut you off in terms of like that's a bit too much content, because I'm looking at the structure of your language and the structure of your experience. So it's moving from why it's happening, which we love. INTJs love to figure out why is this and why is that. But if you think about a why, like that's very subjective. So we move from why to what is happening, like what's showing up in your body, what's the thoughts doing in your head, what's that? And then we play with the structure. And it's very interesting. Once you start playing with the structure and changing that internal representation that your brain is using to reference that information, it will change the way that you feel about it. And so it's really interesting. That kind of, that was a long intro, but that makes sense.
And I'm very happy because I have experience with like emotional, I guess you could call it like psychotherapy, and a lot of the time I do it on myself, where I question what I believe, and I basically just zen it out of my body, physically wait for everything to pass, and then I try to put a different idea that I do believe actually. And it's very time consuming, but I'm very happy.
Well, that's essentially you're kind of doing the same process, but it's like trying to do it on yourself consciously. And so that it can be done, but it's just like quicker with someone to help you. Even me, like I'm very highly skilled and trained in this. I'll just go to someone that I trained with, or the guy who trained me, and I'll be like, I've realized this, because I mean, you don't have to play around with things that aren't problematic. Like the whole philosophy that I run off is like, what's more useful to you? And so you don't want to go looking for, some people go looking for problems. They're like, oh, I don't know what to work on. And it's like, well, don't work on anything then. If you go, oh, this is bugging me, this is a problem. And it doesn't matter if you can't put your finger on it, that's the whole point of this. So it'll either bring clarity or it will resolve it completely, depending on what the issue is. But it's more about like just updating the nervous system to something more useful for you. And then that's not going to kind of keep you stuck in those loops that just seem to be like, I just keep going in the same pattern over and over again. And I want it to change. So that's what we're doing here. So you mentioned that you've kind of, you're not exactly sure what it is that you want to work on, which is perfect. So this session really will be a bit of clarity. And then if the clarity, with the clarity comes with something that we can go into a bit of like resolve work. Do you want to, have you thought about it more? Or do you want me to go off your email and ask a couple of questions from that in terms of what's the problem or what do you want?
I have thought about it a little, but there hasn't been any resolve. There's two kind of areas.
Yep.
I seem to be able to control a little more, which is switching between intuition and then actual just thinking and being rational and making decisions. That part, the questioning everything that's done with my intuition becomes a problem quite often. But at the same time, something always saves me and I go back into kind of go mode where I don't question my feelings about the thing anymore. I just kind of do what makes sense, and then that ends up making me feel productive. The second subject that I haven't felt any.
Hang on. Can we just go to the first one?
Oh, sorry.
So what's the actual problem? So you've got this intuition, the thinking, like if you just put it in one problem.
I would describe it as almost like a glitch in my mind that it sets off my brain to think about everything in terms of how it's going to play out. Taking the loop that you mentioned, taking past experience and putting those patterns on a future scenario, whether it concerns my job. So an example of that would be thinking about my career in too long term of a period. And
so is it that specifically that loop that you get into?
Yeah.
That is the problem, or is it something more specific to your career that you're experiencing at the moment for a problem? Or
I think it is connected to a problem that I'm trying to figure out in my career. So there is some.
So it'll be cleaner if we sort of target it in where it's showing up and then generalize it later to everything else, rather than go at the big thing. Because then your brain has this amazing capacity to do generative learning, where it can apply something that's happened in one scenario to other, and that's essentially what we do with all of these things. We bring resources and understandings we have in one area of our life and open the brain's capacity to apply it across the board. Okay, so the career is, I guess, overthinking and inaction in career.
I would say searching for, I guess, joy or fulfillment.
Joy. Yeah.
I think I've always been led to do something that's useful, and that's the only lens through which I've ever seen things. It wasn't there was a component of interest to it, but I found out I'm pretty good at learning things quickly, so it didn't really matter what the thing was. And then I seem to have hit a point where I didn't want to do things just because they're useful anymore, but I didn't know what. It's almost as though I've stifled my passion.
No, I did the same thing actually. Okay, so that's the career one. What's the second thing that you thought of?
That's the career one, and then the second point is that you've described it really well in one of your videos. My brain starts doing the "is it worth it" equation, because I'm trying to look for different ideas that I could do as a long-term career that would make me happy. Even though,
so it's still related to the career. That is it worth it? Okay, so we'll just dive into that then. Okay, so
and it's depressing.
No, I get it. And also society. I mean, I don't know what your society is. Obviously, I haven't lived in it, but I'm pretty sure the whole world is very similar in a lot of ways. And it is quite depressing if you think about it all too much sometimes.
Why the things that I've already learned aren't satisfying enough. It seems like I did all the right things, and it should have made me fulfilled, but for some reason it's not exactly it. But it might just be I've matured into realizing, where I was people pleasing.
Yeah, and also like just different stages of our life and stuff, like different things will fulfill us in different ways, and so you know, you're just sort of stepping into, you know, a different phase of, like, especially going into your 30s, you're like not a child anymore, even though when you're in 20s you think, oh, I'm an adult now, but really as you get older, you know, not by that we're old by any stretch, but like it just starts to change and you have different capacities. You can look after yourself in different ways and think about different things. Okay, so let's go back for this joy and fulfillment, being useful in your career, is it worth it type stuff. What's the actual problem, or what do you want?
Good question.
See, isn't it interesting? Because we go from why all of this is happening to us, where we're like, oh, what do we actually want?
Yeah. What is the problem? Okay. I think it was a regular feeling of being out of place and having to fit myself in, and being good at things that I wasn't sure I enjoyed anymore. And there being a feeling that there must be something more.
So is this, so you also mentioned this like looping, overthinking about it. So this is when you start going in the looping, this is what you start to think about?
Yes, and I think the looping might also be connected to uncertainty and perfectionism.
If you couldn't like go back and forth, because you said in your email, you said that you kind of make excuses, right? You go in and out of like doing it and then making excuses and doing.
Yeah.
If the excuses weren't there, if you couldn't use them, what are you left with? What happens?
I just have to translate it to a specific situation. I would say just a fear.
A fear, yeah. A fear of? Where is it in your body? In your chest, tummy, head? Where do you notice it?
It's kind of in the middle between my chest and my throat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fear of it not working out.
And if this fear of not working out wasn't there, would you be able to feel in place and do things you enjoy and find certainty?
Yeah, I think so. It would be a lot lighter, and at the same time, it might feel a bit random.
Okay. And what do you want instead of this sort of looping thinking and this fear? And
I would like to feel my kind of love or passion for the thing to be stronger than any practical argument.
Than any practical argument? I mean, sometimes practical arguments keep you off the street.
Yeah.
Are you in a position to be safe enough, like, to do that? Like, we're just making sure that there's Because sometimes our brain is like always trying to keep us safe, right? Sometimes it's valid and sometimes it's no longer valid. So are you in a position where you can not think about the practicalities at all?
Not fully. I do have to think practicalities for sure. Wouldn't consider myself someone that would throw myself into feeling anyway. Even if I tried, there's a strong kind of how's it in English? You're like a survival instinct. Yeah. Like an intuition.
So you want to be able to feel passion for things over the need or what?
It's like I'm sad that everything has to be ordinary in order for me to do it. I would like to experience.
Why does everything have to be ordinary?
Because it feels like a delusion if it isn't.
When you think about that feeling like a delusion if it isn't, is that like something running in your head, or is there a sensation in your body or something that's fucking delusional? What are you doing?
It's more of a feeling, and it's like a.
Is that the fear that in your chest? Is that the same feeling, or is it different?
It's like a parallel sadness.
Sadness
going on here, yeah.
So this is a different feeling than the fear before.
A little bit, yeah.
And where is it, in your throat or in your chest?
It's more powerful and it's more in my throat.
It's in your throat, that's right. And that's a feeling that everything has to be ordinary, or the sadness?
It feels really young, and it feels like
That's right. You're doing a really good job.
It feels like.
Has it taken you back there? Do you know how old you are?
It's like a 5-year-old feeling, but I'm quite used to it. I'm quite familiar with that person. It feels like the magic from the world or from life.
Right. Don't let yourself get too sucked into it. Just hold it gently. That's right. Yeah. What I want you to do with this feeling, get that feeling in your throat. You're doing a really good job. This when you were about 5, are you safe in that sort of scenario? Just confused?
Safe, yes, but kind of disappointed.
Yeah, that's okay. So what I want you to do is just hold it gently and just notice that feeling and allow it to take you all the way back. That's right, all the way back, all the way to when you're there. Just let me know. The very first time this happened, this showed up for you, this feeling.
I think it's not very clear, but I think it's.
That's okay. Just a sense.
Yeah.
Are you about 5, or is it younger than that?
Yeah, 5. 5 is
5.
Maybe 4.
Maybe 4, yeah. And you get a sense you've got this scenario. Are you alone, or are you with other people?
I feel my mother there.
Do you get a sense? You don't have to tell me what people are. Is it just your mum, just one person, or?
There's a few others in the background, but they're not super significant.
There's not significant. Okay, so just get a sense of little you. And what I want you to do is just imagine that you can step outside of this little 4-year-old as the person you are now. So she's sitting kind of, or standing, or whatever the scenario is in front of you. You stepped outside of her as the person you are now? That's right. So just get a sense of this. You can see your mum, you notice the other people, you can get a sense of this little child there. But sometimes we don't either have the access to these resources, or we haven't used them in the situation. And resources can be anything from love, compassion, joy, like anything. any personal resources, resilience, determination, they're all personal resources, right? If you get a sense of that little girl there, as the person you are now, what do you think she might need to access to make this situation easier for her to handle at this time? As the person you are now.
Understanding.
Understanding, that's right. Step back outside of her so you're the person you are now. That's right, yeah. That's right, yeah. So as the person you are now, we're not going to go back inside of her just yet. Understanding of the situation or of other people, of herself, what?
Her point of view.
Understanding of her point of view. Of the little girl's point of view or of the
girls and her preference, yeah.
Is there a stronger sort of okay, we can do understanding. So if you get a sense of understanding her point of view or her preference or what she needs at this time, and you get a real sense of that in your body now as you are now, do you know what that is? You get a sense, like, it's a bit more, I can see your shoulders and stuff are a little bit higher and lighter, that you notice that in your body. Yeah, yeah. You got that understanding?
Can you rephrase the question?
So when you're understanding what you need, is that the resource that you want, understanding, or is it something else?
It's enjoying something with her, or kind of keeping her faith and happiness alive.
So if you were as the person you are now experiencing this moment, how would you interpret it or notice what it is as the person you are now?
If I'm to describe the situation?
No, just how, if you're, as the person you are now, were to be in this situation, what do you notice in yourself that you know about it? What are you accessing?
It might not be the right answer, but I'll just answer.
Okay. Yeah, perfect.
It's like seeing the significant cause of something that at the time like was and wasn't a big deal at the same time, but to her it was a big deal. At the same time,
perfect. So what I want you to do is, in these situations, there's a lot of the time is love would be very useful, because love lets us access a lot of very useful other resources, right? So as the person you are now, I want you to think of when you love the people in your life, you know, your partner, I don't know if you have dogs or anything, you can access love very easily when you're giving it to others, right? Yeah. So I just really want you to get that sense of love and what love is when you're giving it to others. That's right. And when you have, that's right. When you're really full of that, I want you to go ahead and step inside of this little girl and let her access that from the inside, because she is you. She just wasn't able to access it at the time. That's right. That's right. What do you notice?
It's kind of a surprise.
Just step outside of her for a second as the person you are now. What do you notice?
Here.
It's happy. Yeah, that's right. Is there anything else that you notice?
That she's remaining rebellious despite.
That's right. Well, that's right. When kids feel completely able to be themselves, they can be completely themselves, right? Even if they're little shit sometimes. You're doing really, really well. I just want you to go around behind your mum. So you're standing behind her. And in a moment, not yet, you're going to step inside of her and see the situation from her eyes and experience the situation as her. I'm going to leave you behind and experience it as her. So you can go ahead and step into her and see through her eyes. That's right. Just notice what you notice. That's right. That's right. Step back out of her as the person you are now. That's right. You're doing a really good job. Step back out. What do you think she might need to access from within her? She might need in this situation?
Calmness.
Calmness, yeah.
Like reassurance.
Reassurance. Probably calmness is a good one, because that's something you can access within yourself, right? And that will probably give you that self-reassurance. So I want you to think, as the person you are now, of a time that you felt really calm. Like it could be when you're meditating, or in the environment, or just even sitting in your room, just feeling really calm. Just really access. Yeah, that's right. Just notice what's happening in your body when you feel really calm, and you're really accessing. That's right. That within inside of you. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and step inside your mum and give her that from the inside. That's right. Good. Good. That's right. You can go ahead and step out of her now as the person you are now. That's right. Good. And what do you notice?
She's able to join in the mischief.
Yeah, that's right. So I just want you to go back around behind little you, a little 4-year-old you, and just notice this situation. Is there anything else that sort of needs to happen in this situation for everyone to handle it better, or that's pretty good now?
I mean, there's always something to improve, but it feels pretty good.
What is it? Is it anything that she needs in this moment, or not really?
Maybe physical touch.
Physical touch. Okay, we'll give that to her in a minute, because that's sort of,
yeah,
that's not a personal resource, so that's something different. So what we're going to do is, in a moment, but not yet, I'm going to get you to have like a little conversation with this little girl, and you're going to imagine preparing her for the life ahead that you have. The main thing is knowing that she makes it through. She's a little legend who makes it through. Sometimes it's a bit shit, sometimes it's a bit great, sometimes, you know, you don't have to tell her exactly what happens, because, you know, sometimes life is nice to, but the main thing is that confidence to know that she makes it through. She has everything within inside of her to make it through, and to deal with whatever thing comes at her appropriately, and that she can access especially that love within inside of her whenever she needs, because that is part of her, just like any resource that she has. So you can give her whatever she needs, a little conversation, a little high five, a little cuddle, whatever she needs in that situation. And when you're done doing that, just let me know. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Okay. So in a moment, but not yet, and noticing a lot of this will be done at a subconscious level, we're going to rapidly go forward through time, growing her up alongside of you, knowing that she has access to you at any time that she needs, but rapidly going through all of her experiences noticing all the options available to her now. And you can go ahead and step into that and grow her up rapidly through your childhood, all the way through early teenage, early adult, all the way through growing her up, knowing that she has access to this, noticing all the options available to her now, and noticing what's different, all the way up until the present moment. So she should be a fully grown woman standing next to you. And just let me know when that's done. That's right. All the way up. That's right. Noticing all the options available to you and what's different for you now. That's right, as you go up all the way rapidly forward through time.
Okay.
And now that you have two of you standing there, I want you to, one can step into the other, integrate fully as one full, complete sense of self, no longer stuck back there, fully integrated.
If she's not super clearly defined, is that still all right?
That's okay, just a sense. It just has to be, she's a sense that she's grown up now, same age as you, no longer stuck back there, and you're fully integrating as one complete sense of self as the person you are now. That's right. Fully allow that to fully integrate into your body. And then just imagine going off into the future, taking all that with you, noticing how things are different for you now out there, noticing you can access these resources whenever you need. That's right. Just give yourself a moment. When you finish that, just make sure that you're back in the present moment fully as you are now. That's right. Good. Just give you a few seconds to come out of the void. What do you notice? It's a big one.
Sorry. Much lighter. Like a fascination that it feels really right, and it feels like a lot of the questions don't matter anymore. I'm suspicious also as to whether it'll be strong enough to take over.
As in
the identity.
So this is a new identity you just feel?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a more complete one, but it feels really like fresh.
So sometimes we have any change for the nervous system and the brain. Again, like identity level shift is massive. So it was pretty awesome that you went there straight away. You're obviously ready for it. But sometimes our brain just needs to deal with the resistance and the objections that are coming up. So what's popping up as the objection?
Like a looming sense of doom that it's like warning signs from the brain that also don't really have any specific direction, but it's something like, this is not going to work type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it,
and what happened? What would happen if it didn't work?
Then I would just go back to roaming around without aim.
So
even though
for your brain, is that a more or less useful thing than you feel now?
It feels like it gives my brain dominance.
The roaming.
Yeah, the guessing and analyzing.
Dominance over
My being, or like the part that feels connected to myself.
Dominance over the part that feels connected to yourself. What?
Yeah, like my soul, I guess.
Is the dominance good or bad?
The brain likes it, but I don't.
Or how does the brain like it then?
It gets a say in what I do. And usually
so your brain and your soul is different?
It feels as though the brain is more like a machine that calculates very specific practical situations. And it's kind of able to run really quickly and tire out, almost like killing an idea. Yeah.
And what needs to happen?
I need to ignore it and to relax it more. And
you
be
just notice, do you get like this little, is that like an image or a sense that there's something doing this running, this little metaphor that you gave me?
Yeah, it's like,
is it like a little movie playing? It's a grey blob.
Yeah, it's
So
like
if you just,
like an entity.
It's like an entity. So if you just take a notice of that entity, it is grey blob, what else do you notice?
Like it can't see outside of itself, and the reasoning is very fearful and kind, but really limited. And it's,
so do you feel like part of you is this really great blob and part of you isn't?
Yeah, it feels like a going back and forth between the two if I don't limit the brain, if I don't relax it enough and kind of assert my dominance over it. Yeah.
So your dominance is different to your brain's dominance?
It feels that way.
This blob's dominance?
Yeah.
So what do you want?
I would like to make it more useful to me, to convince it that there's nothing to fear, because I value it so much. It allows me to learn everything.
So part of you wants that and part of you doesn't want it, or
like it's almost as though it's just unhealthy, but I know how good it can be when it feels secure. Yeah, but there's nothing about life that I can explain to it that is secure.
Is that part of you? Does it feel separate to you?
It feels.
So it's over there.
Yeah, it's kind of here.
Does it need to be part of you? Do you feel like it is part of you, but you're a bit disconnected from it?
Yeah, and it feels like I can fully go into it, but then I feel better when I'm looking at it from outside.
What happens when you do fully go into it?
It gets work done pretty quickly when it's within a system. It can think or learn things pretty quickly and be efficient, but it's very energy draining, and it's hard to control what it applies that to. So
is there a way or ways that you could integrate that without it having dominance over you, but fully integrate as part of who you are?
I've never thought about that.
What would happen if you allowed it to be part of you but not be dominant over you?
It wouldn't feel like so set in its ways.
So if you allowed that to happen, pardon?
It felt as though it was like a compliment that I said that.
So if you allow that to be part of you without being dominant over you, what do you notice? That's right.
Immediately got smaller and changed color to pink, and it kind of inside of me, but yeah, it was kinder.
That's right. Does this feel more useful to you?
Definitely. I wonder whether I'll be able to use it, but yeah, I guess so. I need to try it out. That's it.
What would get you out? I mean, you also do need some evidence in the real world, but you know, is it just sit with it for a second now that it's smaller inside of you as part of who you are, and just ask that part of you, what's the most, because all of you knows what's good for you and what you want. We've just mapped that out. Just ask, what's the most optimal size, color, feeling for this to be fully part of who I am, when I can access it when I'm needed, but not have full dominance over me, and just allow it to change into whatever it needs to be just the right level for you. Yeah, that's right. What do you notice?
Yeah. It's it's like a little smaller than a tennis ball, and it's a pink color, like a pale pink color, and it's relaxed enough that I can just direct it at situations, and then
based on what's important to you and yourself.
If it's important to me,
like,
yeah,
you can direct it in terms of when you are doing things, you can use it at will whenever, you know, to align with what's important to you and your soul, and use it in a useful way, not in an aggressive way that can't be stopped.
I hope so. That's the part I need to test, but it seems the size and the feeling would make it useful for it.
What's the resistance at the moment?
Just I think I've only thought of resistance. Well, it's just an instability. Once again thing.
So just allow that, because, you know, we can always change things back. Like, there's no permanence to this. It's just like, do we want it or do we not want it? So it's a choice, right? Like, you've got something that was kind of working for you. This, you know, could kind of work for you. Seems like it's pretty good, but the brain has this amazing capacity to imagine, and you know this well, that you can imagine out into the future. So I just want you to imagine a few scenarios where you might have once been either overrun by this, or you want to use it when you couldn't, and see how it's useful to you out in the future in different scenarios. Try and make it generalized. Like, not specific to people or exactly what you're doing. You just know you're sitting down to do some work rather than the specific work, so that your brain really generalizes it across things or goes into context with people and just lots of different scenarios. Just
so how I can use it in the new form scenarios.
Yeah, just notice what you feel in your body now, and just go out in the future and notice what's different for you, and if it's a good way to be.
Yeah, I think that's the resistance, where I'm curious.
Yeah, go and try.
When you're in the lab and you finish the experiment, and then you need to gather.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
That's right.
It feels like there's a lot more common sense, which feels like a soul to me. Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. And I have a question. I have a great kind of ability to, think about things or be in scenarios in my mind. Wait, no, that just answered itself.
Yeah, I think you have because you've had a big shift today. Like, that was a big piece that you did. And so it's like that changed identity. I think there will be a lot of things that are reorganizing now.
Yeah.
And so you'll find that your sense of things when you think about them now will be quite different. So you'll be referencing past things when you're thinking, oh, I had this problem, and you're like, wait, because now you're thinking differently. Your brain has access to much more resources.
And do I need to fortify it in any way?
No. It's the beauty of the brain is, it's going to use the nervous system, and the subconscious is going to use something that's at least as good as or better than what we did. And we've addressed most of all of the objections there. And so if it does, I don't think so. You seem pretty lined up with it now, but it's the beauty of this work. It's like, because it's just breaking that patterning. It was just going, oh, this is a way to deal with this problem. Just follow that neural pathway, and then it loops. And it's like, this is appropriate to do in that scenario. It's worked for me. It got me here. Even though for your mind and the greater sort of expansion part of you wants more.
Yeah.
In sort of a survival context, like you say, like it was quite separated for you, whereas it is all parts of you, like they are all operating together. And we want, to be able to sort of like shift the gears in a car nice and smoothly when we need to. You're still going to come up against life issues, but we want to be able to, address them in ways that make more sense to who we are and all the work we've done now, rather than back, when we were 4 years old.
Yeah.
The assumption is with NLP is that you have everything inside of you to get what you want. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't want it. Like, so
it's so nice.
Very passionate about
it. Like easier to. I don't think I've spoken to everyone, and it's really comforting. So thank you.
Most of the work that I do uncovers the deeper subconscious beliefs and values misalignments that are really driving our behavior and our emotional responses. Once they are identified, we are then able to use processes to break the neural patterning and this looping of the problematic response, and updates it to something more useful to who we are now and who we want to be moving forward. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this type of content and if you have any questions that you want me to address in future videos.